You think when you're having a baby, you have a due date. You always wonder when the baby's gonna come, when you start getting around that date, but you never imagine it happening 2+ months early.
Homecoming weekend of 2015 is normally one of my favorite weekends of the year. I love Baylor homecoming, but that particular weekend, I just felt really sick. So we called the doctor, kind of told him what was going on, and she was like, just come in and let me see you. Like, it's probably no big deal. They put us into triage, ran some tests, and then it became pretty clear pretty quick that things were a little more serious than we thought.
The neonatologist was, sharing some things with us, and I remember Rachel looking her dead in the eyes and, is my baby gonna be okay? She didn't care about herself. She didn't, is my baby gonna be okay?
That's what I needed to know as a mom. I was like, if you can tell me that my baby has a chance and that this is her best chance, then we can move forward. But if you can't tell me that, then we can't. But she was able to look me in the eye and say, hey, we are fully prepared to care for your baby at 29 weeks. So I think once I heard that, I was like, okay, let's move forward. And you just kind of get in the mindset of like, this is what we're doing.
We talked to Rachel and Nick both about kind of what to expect. That initial visit can be pretty tough sometimes because we have to tell them some things that they may not want to hear.
There's just a lot of emotions going through your mind because on one hand, you're like, I'm about to get to meet my baby, and that's exciting. And on the other hand, you're really scared for what the outcome is going to be because all the doctors and nurses had warned us that she probably wouldn't be crying, that she would probably be pretty still, things that you're not hoping.
I feel like the only words that could come out of my mouth were, you're brave and you're strong. You're brave and you're strong. So when she came out crying, I remember just laughing and crying. At the same time, just that's what you're supposed to hear.
I think the first thing we remember about Ella Kate is that she was tiny. Right at a little over 2 pounds, but she also had this great red hair. And so I felt like that was a defining characteristic trait for her.
For me, I didn't want to hold her until Rachel got to hold her. I think that was probably one of the harder things is her baby didn't get to be held until a few days later, by her mom or her daddy. But it was so right for Rachel to hold her first.
First time I got to see EK was the best. One of the nurses was able to pick her up out of her little isolette and bring her over to me so I could see her, and I got to kiss her on her little cheek. And I'm super thankful that that nurse took the 3 minutes that it took to let me meet her for the first time and let me see her. And she didn't have to do that. She could have whisked her away immediately, but she knew that for my mom heart that it would be better if I could meet her and give her a kiss before she had to go.
Going up and seeing her attached to all these wires, and your first instinct is I don't get to take care of my baby all the time. But I feel like there was a grace because of the people up there. She's in really, really good hands.
They have to leave their baby with us. And so it's a really big deal to us that we want them to trust us so that when they do leave the hospital, that they know their baby is safe and sound and they're being well taken care of.
The nurses took what could have potentially been one of the worst experiences in our lives, and they completely flipped the table. And those 8.5 weeks we spent in the NICU were really some of the sweetest weeks of our entire lives.
Nurses make or break your experience. There's science, there's numbers, but at the end of the day, it's people. And they realized it was my daughter in that isolette, and they were going to do everything they could to make me feel special and to make her feel like the most beautiful, special girl in all the world.
And one of our favorite things to do is go back to the NICU and see the nurses and the doctors that took care of EK and us, really. I want them to see she is here and thriving because of the work that they did.
We feel super blessed that we've been able to impact lives that way, clearly in something that means a lot to people.
This is always going to be a part of Ella Kate's story. She's always going to be brave and strong. And for us, it was those relationships that were built, they are family. She's going to realize one day that those nurses and doctors saved her life.